We are Dani, Joanna and Ada. This year we packed up our lives and moved overseas to renovate this abandoned house and be self-sufficient from the land. Coming up in this video,
that is the soil that will feed us in the future.
The barn is our new favourite junk shop.
Tell me that's not the perfect dibber. That's the money shot right there.
We've got 1/4 of an acre of land and we want to turn it from this mess
into this. We're going to turn this place around by hand using just these 2 tools. Not because that's what we chose, it's because that's what we've got.
After 48 hours of solid rain, we are finally out of the house. One good thing about the rain was that our garden desperately needed a drink, especially where we put all that black plastic, because we wanted to plant garlic, but the soil wasn't fluffy enough. And now I think it might be ready for planting if Dani is up for some digging. It might keep us warm.
I can definitely do some digging, keep warm. It's very cold, we need to find our winter clothing. We found our coats last night because we knew we were going to be coming out today, but the rest of our winter clothing is still packed.
And Dani's also bought a bunch of winter cover crops for the garden, so we're going to maybe chuck those in the ground today. We'll tell you a little bit more about those later.
So this bit here behind me was covered in black plastic for about 16 months. No weeds, lovely to work with. It was a bit dry, but we had non-stop rain for the past 2 days, so the soil is now fluffy and super easy to dig. So now we're going to turn it over with a pitchfork because later on today we're going to be planting something here. As for the rest of the garden, I'm going to use this rake to remove most of the weeds on top.
We're going to use this pitchfork to aerate the soil and try and kill some of the weeds. And then with this rake, just going to go over the top and try and get out as many of the weeds that have come to the surface as possible, just so it's left with a nice dirt.
Now, you might be thinking, why are you doing all this? Why are you doing it by hand? First, we don't have the money to buy fancy machinery. And 2, it's been raining for the past 2 days and we've been stuck inside, so we're itching to do something. Also, we want to try and enrich in this soil. More about how we plan to do that later on in the video, because we would like to do no dig, but to do that we need compost, and to buy compost enough for our garden is going to cost a small fortune. So we're going to give the soil a chance. And if it's good and we can grow straight in it and we can stay on top of the weeds.
At least for 1 year it'll be fine.
At least for 1 year, yeah, at least for 1 year we'll be fine. For now, I'll finish this and we start digging. It's gonna be fun.
Is it?
Yeah, I like it. This is great. The rain softened the soil so much. It's super easy to dig and warmed up. It's great. It is sticking a lot to the Wellingtons, but that just adds to the fun, right?
Ada, what about your wellies? We're just trying to revive this soil that's not been grown on for probably decades, apart from the old weeds that we've attacked already. How we're going to do it is through cover crops.
One of the main reasons is to, well, cover it, to protect the ground from the harsh winter conditions, frost, erosion from rain, and so on. Having the roots of the cover crop in the soil helps it retain its structure. And when it comes time to cutting it, you're not actually removing the cover crops, you just cut in place and let it rot, act as a mulch, and as it breaks down, adds nutrients to your soil.
We bought this mix pre-made, which is made up of 5 different seeds. I'm sure there's plenty more that you can get to cover your garden. So let us know in the comments what you use for your cover crops, or if you even do it at all.
We'll do that some other time. This was great fun until the sun came out and I'm starting to get a bit hot, but we haven't done too bad. I don't know if you can see here, I try to stay in a straight line. And it kind of did, kind of worked.
We've doubled our mud space.
We've doubled the growing space.
A pile of mud.
Pile of mud. And we made a good progress, but we're both getting hungry, so we're gonna go and have some lunch. And we'll see what we're gonna get up to in the afternoon. Oh, look at this, guys. My favorite thing.
You mean this, not me?
It's bringing me my favorite thing. John's bringing my favorite thing. Careful with the nails and all that. We keep moving these shelves from left, right, and everywhere. I need to cut them really and burn them in the winter. Just drag it, I guess, all the way past that fence, because I'm genuinely gonna try and go there. Yeah, this is where I'm gonna come to. If we plant the cover culture, it's better for next year, because when we're gonna do the rest?
We're planting the cover culture where we want the... No, we're not planting it where we want the thingy.
What?
Greenhouse.
Oh yeah.
We'll have to grow outside next year anyway.
Yeah, next year, because we don't know, we can't afford a greenhouse next year. So yeah, you need to keep watching these videos so we can afford a greenhouse. I am cooked. If you made it that far into the video, thank you so much for keeping my company. I've got a small bit left to do. I've done a little bit there where we're gonna finish. Same here, 2 lines, just to give me a visual representation of what I've got left to do. That's gonna be one final push from me, and I'm gonna head inside. And I have a feeling I'm gonna have to stretch out because I'm definitely gonna feel that tomorrow. My glove gave out in the last round, but we are done. But that is the soil that will feed us in the future, and it feels so good and rewarding doing something like that. My back is cooked, so I'm going inside, gonna make a coffee, and that's everything I'm gonna do for tonight.
We sure slept well after all that digging yesterday, but how is your back?
A little sore today, but...
We're a little tender.
Yeah, not as bad as expected. I thought it was going to be bad because in the end of the day, towards the end, was a bit of a struggle. But all things considered, back is not too bad. So today we're continuing in our mud patch, and we're going to try and establish some beds and some pathways before we can go ahead and put the cover culture. Just as I'm talking to you, I keep spotting little plastic bits in the soil. Joanna was talking about it yesterday, these like coffee packets. I mean, I for one love coffee, but I sure wouldn't have it in a plastic bag and I wouldn't toss it in my garden.
When it comes to beds, we are absolutely not experts. Back in our old garden in the UK, we had some raised beds, but here we want to save money as much as possible, and in future we want to use resources we have in the garden. So we've got lots of walls and buildings, we can use stones to make raised beds, but for now we're going in the ground. And from our research, what we're going for is a 4-foot bed, so you can reach it from both sides, it's not too big, and then possibly 2-foot wide paths, a little bit bigger than what people have recommended. But we've got the space, so we might as well give ourselves that little bit of extra wiggle room to get around. And we're thinking we're just going to go the whole way along the mud. It's not a permanent setup. It's just so we can start planting as soon as possible, because our goal is to start producing food. And we've got no reason not to use this soil. The soil looks nice already. And once we start making our own compost, it's going to be even better. The barn is our new favourite junk shop. We're going to go find some stakes to mark out our raised beds. These look pretty good and they've been nicely stacked just for us to use.
First peg going in. We just measured 4 feet, and that's going to be the width of the first bed.
Yes, we're planting in the ground and these stakes look way too big for what we're doing, but we found them in the barn, so we're repurposing, and then they could be repurposed again, because once we know where the beds are going and the paths are going, these can come out and be stakes for veg, for, well, any other project that we're going to do, which is a lot.
Can you get another stake though? More or less 1 20 here. 4 3 feet.
That's the first one marked out. Next to this one is going to be a 2-foot path.
We don't have anything to actually put on the path, like wood chip or cardboard. Well, we do have cardboard, but nothing to go on top. And that's not going to last, and it's going to break down very quickly. So we're going to save it for now. So we're just going to stamp where the path is going to go. All we want today is to mark out some raised bed so we can plant some cover crop and some garlic. Okay. Getting hot in here, so take off your clothes.
Nice tucked in t-shirt.
That's the fashion in the Homestead. Homestead Fashion.
Wow.
Well,
Fashion.
what am I gonna do when I don't have a belt? Huh?
We don't have anything.
I don't have anything. And there was no tool belt in the barn, so. Help yourself to the tape measure.
I need to swap the tools. I need the hammer now.
We never measured the length of the bed, actually. Maybe we should, just for information.
That's a good shout.
Bind wheat. 23 feet. That's a lot of square feet of gardening.
We've marked out 3 beds and we've probably got space for another 3, maybe 4. We've run out of string. We need to mark out something a bit more permanent. So we're going to use those concrete pillar things that we found in the property to mount the beds. Then we're going to take the string and carry on with what we were doing.
We put those concrete posts here because initially that was our intention, to just plant some garlic in this area. And that was going to be the gardening for this year before the winter. And then we're going to start next year in the spring. But as you can see, things quickly escalated. So we're just going to move those concrete posts. Well, they feel heavy, maybe because of yesterday's digging. I'm just going to put them on that line. Yeah, so we don't have enough of those concrete posts either, but we can switch to, I don't know, whatever we find really, bricks, roof tiles, anything just to distinguish the bed from the path. You're gonna put it?
That should be all right.
Right, let's see, that's gonna come out, yeah.
Ah. That was easier than ones before.
Yeah, it's the rain. We love the rain. Go and do some shoulder press whilst I'm at it. Okay. Whew. Knackered now. I'm ready for coffee and cake. Oh yeah, that's what I need mid-morning. And to go with it, we have some cake. I remember seeing one or two more here. Yeah, there's a couple more. I just need to move all my tile offcuts. And the other pile of rubbish. Couple more down here. I think that's all we have. I don't remember seeing any more, to be honest. But we'll have a look around in the barn. No concrete posts in the barn. Which is good, right?
Yeah. As we were just doing our beds, we've had some very kind donations from Dani's mum. So we've got peas and spinach. I already had some peas as well that I've just started soaking because they gave me a great idea that we're going to plant more things as well as garlic. So we'll do a little bit of these as well later on.
I really love reusing and repurposing old stuff and giving something old new life. But man, is it hard work. To use these concrete beams where they've been reused for something else, you have these, like lots of these wire wrapped up around it, and some of it's so rusty and hard. It's quite big. It actually needs cutting before we can get it out, like this one. I mean, I could try and untangle this, but it's just easier to probably cut it with an angle grinder. So I'm gonna do that. We are one short to finish the second bed, which is annoying. I have to use bricks and it's going to be all mismatched again.
Don't you need some eye protection?
I've already got mine on, look. I'm only joking, guys. Make sure you wear eye protection when you're doing shit like that. So we've done 2 beds. Then we run out of concrete posts, but I stumbled on some big bricks. So we're thinking of using those for our 3rd bed. And then we're gonna take this string, because we ran out of string as well. So we're gonna take this string and put another 2 beds over there. And we'll see what we're gonna use for that. Maybe stones or bricks, or we can even use roof tiles. But if we use the roof tiles, we're gonna have to like at least put half of the tile underground, and we don't wanna dig, because it's going to be too laborious at the minute. So let's do a couple more beds, and potentially that'll be enough for us just to put those peas, spinach, garlic and cover crops. That's just eyeballing it. Can you pass me the tape measure?
There you go.
Thank you. Oh, 2 centimeters out.
I thought you usually overestimate.
It's not steady.
Okay, 63.
3 centimeters.
That doesn't matter, does it?
That's 1 inch. 1 inch makes all the difference. Ah, it's too deep. Yeah, so now this one is 1 inch bigger. I'll do anything for get 1 inch bigger.
All done.
No, we're not. We still need to put bricks or anything or something else on these beds. But it's lunchtime, so we're all done for now. The issue with bricks is, we were just debating that, they're about 10 centimeters wide. So regardless of where we put them, you lose 5 centimeters of the path or the bed. So we might just leave them as that and then just go and stamp on the path just to, it's a bit more established. So if we were to remove the string, you can actually see where's the bed and where's the path.
Back from lunch and had a good rest. I was just scouting around the property and I think I found more concrete pillars. Let's go check it out. Hiding in the undergrowth. Can you see it?
Well, well, well. Looks like we stuck treasure. Peelers grow in the ground, by the way.
I need to
If
get
you
this
move that
metal out of the way.
You're standing on it.
Oh, is it all one piece?
You can tell we haven't even been down this end of the garden because, well, it's too big and we need to prioritize what we need to get done first. Ah, the washing is in the way. You can see how the soil is pretty clumpy as it didn't rain for a really long time before we got a little bit of rain. And this was covered with black plastic, so that's the money shot right there. While John is raking the soil, let's talk about what we're actually putting in the ground today. Garlic. We have 10 whole cloves or bulbs that we're going to separate into cloves and we're going to plant that. That might even, if it grows, that can actually feed us for a whole year. We would not have to buy garlic. We are putting some spinach. We are putting 2 different varieties of peas. Well, 3 if you count the one I just put in there 15 minutes ago. And we also have a massive bag of cover culture seed. This is 4 kilo of pre-made mix. It consists 5 different autumn cover cultures. And I'm gonna use scales to weigh out. I've Googled how much we need per square meter. It's about 20 to 25 grams. Each bed is about 8 square meters. So about 160, 150 grams of mix. So we're gonna weigh that into 150 grams bits, and we have 2, 4, 5 raised beds. So do the maths. That's 750 grams. Quick maths. Let's get it. I don't know how many cloves you get per bulb, but if you get 10 on average, that's 100 cloves. It doesn't look that much, but it's probably more than enough for us.
Wow.
Dibber. Tell me that's not the perfect dibber. Show the handle. Look at the handle. Look at the length. I can dib without even bending over. Look at this dibber. You can just hold it by the spear. Let's take a back scratcher. Oh, this feels good. That's a massager. Head scratcher. Found that in the garden. It's very smooth. It's late afternoon. I need a coffee. Let's go. So we're gonna use the square foot method for planting the garlic, which you do, if you don't know what that is, you divide the whole bed into square feet. This one is 4 foot wide, so if you put imaginary line in the middle, so that's 2 square feet, and then each square like that. So about, that's 1 square here. And this can fit 4 cloves of garlic. And if that's 4 feet, we can, along this line we can put 8 and so on. So I'm just gonna lay them on the soil in a line, see where they're gonna go, like this. So the garlic is done, and now on the opposite side of the bed we're gonna do some peas and spinach. Whilst Joanna's finishing off with the spinach, I'm gonna go weigh out some seeds from for the cover culture to go in the rest of the bed. Looks very interesting. And I'm just gonna go ahead and scatter them all over these other beds.
And the last thing we're going to do tonight is the bit where there's no beds. We're just going to cover with the cover crops anyway, because what else would we do with the space? As you can see, Dani's ferociously spreading the seeds, probably because he's hungry and wants dinner. It's getting quite late. But we were trying to make the most of today because we think by looking at the weather, it's going to rain for 3 days solid. So we've just come out of a 48-hour rainstorm and now we get more.
Oh, I just threw my face.
He just threw it on his face. That's why we wanted to spend loads of time in the garden today, because it may be that we are stuck inside again for a few days. And on that note, think of us sat inside avoiding the rain. See you next time.